But we have a guest with us today, an entrepreneur whose name is Dustin Fankhauser. And Dustin is a client of the Missouri SBDC and was willing to come on and talk with us today just briefly about how supply chain, how it's been impacted lately, what he's been doing about it, what's working. Dustin, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me. Sorry if I hope I come across okay audibly because I'm driving back from Tulsa today. So
you sound great, and we have a photo of you up, so we know where the voice is coming from. Dustin, could you take just a moment and give us a really brief description of your business?
Sure. So the company I own is LED Direct, and we are a commercial and industrial wholesale supplier of LED lighting fixtures. So we have a direct business model where we're importing directly from the factories, most of which are in China, and in turn we wholesale those to electrical contractors and to larger end users.
Outstanding. So I think it's probably safe to assume that you've had some supply chain challenges in 2020. Could you tell us about those and what you've done to work within them?
Yeah, the supply chain has obviously been totally flipped upside down with COVID. I mean, as you know, the COVID came to China first, or started in China, whatever you want to say. So it affected it even around Christmas time is when it started to affect it, and the Chinese factories were closing down because of the COVID. So therefore, all the stuff we were trying to get was delayed months and months, and there was kind of no end in sight. So then once the factories in China began to reopen, then that's about the time that it hit the United States. And so all the freight and everything getting it to our door was slowed and or ridiculously higher priced.
So what did you have to do? What actions did you take to please your customers? And that seems like that would be a really awkward place to be.
Yeah, it is. Fortunately, I guess everybody in my field was kind of experiencing the same thing. So I hate to use it as an excuse, but I mean, we did have an excuse. So people were a little bit more understanding than normal. But we had to utilize air freight a lot more than ocean freight because we just didn't have the time. By the time the goods, we could get the goods, we didn't have the time to put it on ocean freight and wait, 4 to 5 weeks. So we had to put it on air freight. Well, air freight raises your cost of goods tremendously, shipping it via air versus ocean. So there was a little bit of a profit margin hit there, but we just had to do it in order to keep our customers happy.
Did you just decide to absorb that, or did you pass that on in some way?
We tried to pass it on as best we can. There's certain times when you can, but depending on when our customer gave us the green light, so to speak, or confirmed their order, it's a little hard to go back and charge them more. So we absorbed some of it, and then some of it we were able to pass on.
That's great. Tony, any questions for Dustin?
Yeah. So how did you negotiate the delivery? I mean, obviously you had a contract in place for buying certain quantities of lights from overseas, and now they're delayed. Did they offer you any discounts, rebates, incentives to encourage you to continue interacting with your supplier from overseas, or?
Tell you the truth, the discounts are starting to come into place now. I think that these factories are seeing quite a downturn in business from North America, and so it's pretty apparent that they're slow because they're extending a lot more discounting now than they usually ever do. So I think it's just taking a little bit of time, but now they are discounting.
Okay.
That's interesting. Dustin, thanks so much for sharing with us today. We won't keep you on long. We appreciate you giving us some time and giving us some inside perspective of someone that's like doing it. You're in the heat of it all, and your business is really impacted by it. Any parting advice for other small business owners right now?
I would just say don't quit fighting for finding better solutions. Times like these, I always find myself looking at my freight forwarders, looking at my shippers, finding ways that I can save a little money by using other options. So, don't just take no for an answer, I guess. There's always a good reason to go out and look for other ways to get the same job done and maybe save a little money as far as the bringing in product and importing and supply chain.
That's great. Great advice, Dustin. Thanks so much again for joining us and making time for us today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks,
You
Dustin.
bet. Thank you.
Thank you, Dustin. And I should also tell everybody that, Ellie, I just thought about this, and I actually worked in that space too. But I mean, energy efficiency is also a long-term solution for saving money. So it's never a bad idea to look at your energy savings as well. I know LED lights are notorious for saving businesses money as well. So I just thought about that.
This is very true.
Thanks, Dustin.
All right. Take care.
Take care.
Thank you very much.
You too.